Fair enough.
But Shakus, while it's gone, and there's a time slot for this on TV and such. They call it superhero time, which is usually Kamen Rider and Super Sentai series. But there's no Super Sentai series, so what are they gonna do in their place?
Tell me it's Garo. Are there no more Garo stuff?
I wish. Garo's gotten really weird, and I wish we had time to talk about that today, but we don't, so I'm going to just let it go with Garo's weird. But no, they have brought back another franchise that has been dead and buried and is revitalizing, like they're trying a whole new thing. And they're using one of their older franchises to sort of bring this new idea to light. And it is called... I can't select it. It is called Project Red.
Project Red.
Project.
Is that what it was called?
Red. That is what it's called now. This is I guess the new brand, right? The overarching brand is called Project Red, which stands for Records of Extraordinary Dimensions.
Records of Extraordinary Dimensions.
Yes.
Okay.
Is basically a franchise that this is what they gave us in like the like little press release type thing. Will feature red clad protagonists, right? So I guess each of these series is going to have some kind of red protagonist, right? Which is a sort of Ranger. A Sentai standard, right? You have the Red Ranger, right? Yep. And we'll have crossovers. So you see, right?
That Avengers.
There we go.
The Marvels, the contained universe.
They are walking. They're listening to feedback. They're walking as they talk, right? So the first series in this Project Red, in this Record of Extraordinary Dimensions, is Super Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity, which is basically a revitalization of the old Space Sheriff Gavan. Let me show the people original
Space OG Sheriff Gavan.
Space Series Gavan Infinity. I'm probably saying Gavan right. I mean Gavan wrong. But here's the trailer for Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity.
Not the...
Jojak! That is like the henshin of the metal of the Gavan series, at least, not the whole Metal Hero series. So Gavan, actually, I'm gonna show y'all the original, the OG Space Sheriff Gavan. Trey's pants is wet. Shut up. They are. They absolutely
are.
No, this
is quite literally like. I know that as soon as they announced, it's like while this was playing live, someone literally shit a brick. They were like, "Dude, I never thought I'd live long enough to see Gavan come back."
No, like, for real though, not just Gavan. So Gavan is a part of the honestly, I don't know how I'd say this. So let's say there's a square, right? The square of Tokusatsu, right? And it honestly should probably be a pyramid, but whatever. We're gonna yes. Because Godzilla should be somewhere in this, but I'm only focusing on transforming heroes, right? You have Kamen Rider, which I believe started it all. I could be wrong. Super Sentai, which came next. And then you have Ultraman, which I don't know where Ultraman fits because I can't remember when Ultraman came out. But then you have a fourth franchise called Metal Heroes, right? Metal Heroes was like, and we're going to talk about, because this is going to come up on the test. There will be a test. Metal Heroes.
Going to be a test.
Metal Heroes was a franchise that started, I believe, around the same time as these other ones. But then they went on a hiatus somewhere around the early Heisei period, where they just stopped making Metal Hero shows. And there's been sort of a little bit of a revival. There's been Space Sheriff Galvan movies. They brought the character back for like cameos in like Kamen Rider or Super Sentai series or whatever. Especially because, like, remember like SPD, right? Remember Power Rangers SPD? Deca Ranger as the show that they came from, right? Has to deal with space cops. Space Sheriff Galvan deals with space cops, so they had like a little cameo, like maybe a movie thing with like Deca Ranger. They've been finding reasons to try to bring Metal Hero back. In fact, one of the changes Super Sentai has tried to make in the years to keep things fresh is to put Metal Heroes sort of elements in Super Sentai. You know, things like talking robot sidekicks and, whereas Super Sentai is always like, hey, monster comes, we fight the monster, we get in the mech, we fight the monster in the mech. There will be some heroes fighting the monster outside of the mech while there are people in the mech fighting the monster. You know, different kind of techniques of how they do the show instead of doing the same thing 50 fucking million times, right? Now, people like, they're bringing back Space Sheriff Galvan. This is fucking great. Let me show y'all why people are wild out over this. Do you not hear? First, listen to this theme. Galvan! When I tell you, remember, did I ever tell you about the Macross theme? Remember how we talked about the Macross theme? Was like, yo, whoever sung that theme got some black in them.
Yeah.
That same motherfucker's parents birthed the motherfucker that did the Galvan thing, cause he got some black in him somewhere. I swear to God, he got some soul in him. I love. Can I just say this? I'm gonna pause it like 17 times, but I love the 80s camera work of like repeating the same shot 3 times. Like they'll do that 3 times, zoom in. Let me show y'all again. I love this shit so much. He's walking up. Who is it? It's Galvan, baby. Come on now. That's why my shirt's gray today, in honor of Galvan, by the way. That's
Is that his main color?
He's like silver. So
Good close.
close enough. Come on now. Get that disco in it, you know what I mean?
Got you.
Galvan! I don't know. It is. I love it. I love it so much. So here's one of the things that set Galvan apart from both Kamen Rider and Super Sentai is that they have like for their transformation. I don't know why they do this. I love it. I don't know why they do it. So you know, Kamen Rider they'll go Henshin, and then they do the transformation. Super Sentai do like Ninja Henge, and then they do that transformation, and that's it. For some reason, Galvan was like, nah, these hoes ain't ready. So watch this. Again, they love that repeating camera.
Oh my God. They did it like 2 times in 3 seconds. Yeah, they did it like 6 times.
宇宙刑事ギャバンがコンバットスーツを乗着するタイムはわずか 0.05 秒に過ぎない。では 乗着プロセスをもう一度見てみよう。乗着
I know I got that shit on.
Oh, he know he got that shit on. It's clean.
Not got that shit on.
Hey, chill out, bro. Chill out. Leave Godfather alone.
No, it's the dude there, like the dude's like, nah.
中継時だ。貸して返すな。
For some reason, they do this thing where it's like, Jochuk, right? And it could be over, like right there. But the Space Sheriff Gavin process is a metamorphosis. Let's see how that did in slow motion. And it's just like, because it comes on in like a second. But like, they go through the whole process of like, of announcing and explaining like how this happens. It's I don't know why I love that. It's like, look, we so cool. Let's show you how we did it. So this series went on, and it became some series that if you're a fan of Tokusatsu in the West, you may know some. But again, we're gonna come to that later. And then it went into obscurity, and now it's back as Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity. So how does Space Sheriff Gavan? The first episode's already out. I watched it last night. I was very tired while I did a whole lot of things. How does it fare? Well, let's take a look at the first fight from Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity, and let's see what the people think.
Infinity 乗着それはギャバンシステム発動のコマンドだでは乗着プロセスをもう一度見てみよう乗着コマンドを受けて臨界点を超えたエモルギーはトリガー内に凝縮されたギャバリオン粒子と融合乗着わずか1ミリ秒でコンバット数形と投射成形され乗着を完了するのだ激動アクティベート
Maybe yeah.
Snippet, you know?
That's the snippet, right? Y'all can go if y'all go try to find this out for yourself. Unfortunately, I can't give you like a hey, go watch this on this YouTube channel because of course this isn't being released in the West for some reason. This isn't international. I don't understand why it's not. Alejandro! I am alive, kind of, a little bit. I might be a figment of your imagination. This might be AI, so, you know. It's copyright. Somebody stole my image and now I've used this channel. Shakis is also copyright, so, you know. It is what it is. But do you see what I'm talking about, though, where they're taking... So after watching that clip and knowing what you know about, you know, Power Rangers, stuff like that, you can see that there are certain elements that they revive with Uchu Space Sheriff Gavin, right? That's Uchu Space. That's fucking Uchu is space. Anyway, Space Sheriff Gavin and the prior Super Sentai franchise, right? It's like they've taken Gavin and put Super Sentai elements in it, where you have little, because Gavin was very simple, Joe Truck, and then you know, hey, I'm in the suit. It's done. Okay, well, let me explain how I did it. But, you know, I'm in the suit. It's done, right? Mm-hmm. Gavin Infinity is like, I got a gun. I use that to transform. I got these little doodads. All these toys, which you can buy, by the way. Collect your emo gears, right? Here is, here, not only do I have this toy that I use, there's a whole transformation. Even when we do like the whole I'm gonna explain how I transform and everything, there's more involved with the transformation sequence than there was in old school Galvan, in any of the old school Galvan or any Metal Hero series, right? Where you even get to see like, okay, now we gotta pose up, see the suit. But the difference is a lot of these suits are chrome plated, so you're seeing Drive back home from work. Good luck with the stream transfer. Hey, appreciate it. Drive safe. You should not be texting while you're driving. Stop doing that. Troy, hopefully you're at a red light. I don't want to read a newspaper and be like, and a man died while listening to two idiots talk about cartoons on the internet. Don't do that.
And Gabon.
and Gabon. Did you hear Gabon's
And in
back?
breaking news,
Gabon's back.
Hey, everybody, Gabon's back. Just screaming.
Oh my god, man. So, but you can see they have these like chrome plated suits, whereas a lot of Super Sentai was like brightly colored and things, but they're not. It feels like to me like a riskier way to film because it's all reflective, so you can catch the camera crew and stuff in the reflections if you do like close up. In fact, I feel like there you can see the cameraman in that swooping like little water right there. Yeah, you can definitely see some legs. Like you can see a leg. That's a motherfucking leg right there. I promise you, that's a motherfucking leg right there. So this is a way riskier method. I feel like this makes shooting harder to do than the old school methods were, which is interesting. So they're taking risk with this stuff. They're also like, so instead of like Super Sentai is more team based, you got this team of people that come together, we're going to fight this evil together. Gabon is doing the same thing. Where Gabon used to be like a solo hero, and they might team up in like different series or whatever, but they're different Gabon. So it's almost like we have a team full of leaders together, which they kind of did with the last Super Sentai series, number one Sentai Go Zyuger, where they're all like, I want to be the number one, only I could be number one. And like, hey, I'm also number one. Well, we'll be number one together, and then we'll fight each other at the end or some shit. I don't know. I haven't watched the whole thing yet.
I'm number one. No, I'm number one.
Apparently, so there are multiple Gabons from different universes, which is what in the first episode, the guy that's like Electro played and he looks blue. He's the samurai guy. He's Gabon Bushido. So he's a Gabon from a different universe. So there's going to be multiple Gabons in this series. There are also...
So you're telling me... So you're telling me not only did they fast track or did they implement the continued storyline thing that they're going to be doing, but they also hit the multiverse on episode 1?
Episode 1, multiverse. We're like, hey, if Marvel did it, everybody love it. Not really, but everybody love it. We're doing multiverse. Multiverse of Madness.
Sure.
They're also bringing, because Gabon didn't have any original series, they didn't have mechs. Gabon Infinity has mechs. That gun that he uses to transform also transforms into a mech. So there are different elements that they're bringing in to kind of like mold different aspects together. They're taking pieces and making a whole pie out of it, and I'm actually here for it. I'm actually pretty freaking excited to see what comes from this franchise. I watched the first episode last night. I think it's pretty cool. I can't wait to see where they go from this and how it kind of deviates storytelling wise from the previous previous Super Sentai. And I hope that when Super Sentai does come back and I am 50 freaking years old, still trying to do henshin poses, that they come back with something that is like insane, that's like hardly recognizable, just like how this Gabon is so different from the Gabon in the 80s. So that's it. That's my presentation on Gabon. I hope you all enjoyed that.